94-1.
And so it begins again, even in the dead of winter. Another UMass Lowell baseball season, the third as a member of America East, the third in a four-year transition to Division I. In conference play, the Riverhawks have twice finished at the 500 mark, 10-10. Good enough for third place in America East in each of those first two seasons. 37-48 overall against some of the best programs in the country. For UMass Lowell and head coach Ken Herring, the goals go far beyond just taking part or making a good showing. It is simply about winning.
Well, I think with a lot of new faces and the history of what we've done in years one and years two, I think that it gives the young guys, some goals to try to accomplish, and that's to finish in the top, four in the conference. But the ultimate goal is to win it, and we've put ourselves in position the last 2 years to be at the upper echelon. And now with these new guys, as long as they don't put a little too much pressure on themselves and they just fall into what their role should be within this team, we think that we have the bodies and the pitching depth to be able to compete at the upper echelon of this conference.
There is turnover every year. That's the nature of college athletics. And Herring is excited about what he has returning, as well as the new faces and what they bring in terms of skill and enthusiasm to the program.
We had a plan in place, so we knew what we were losing this year, and we brought in a really good recruiting class. And we feel that the guys, along with some of our returners that have gotten some good experience, that we feel that they mesh really well together. But the new guys, we have a lot of post-grad guys, so they're basically coming in as sophomores mentally, and they're physically a little bit bigger than a regular freshman, so we feel we've addressed our needs, and I think we're more athletic, I think we're bigger, we're stronger. I don't know if we're faster, but we're as athletic as we've ever been. And on the mound, we've addressed a lot of needs in our bullpen. We've got some really good frontline guys, and I think that our midweek starts will be a lot better than they were last year because we basically had to save all of our pitching for the weekends, and I think we did a really good job this past summer and the previous 2 summers identifying our needs and going out and getting the right players for this program.
It challenged me in many different ways. I was able to get ahead of myself, and then I kind of had a couple setbacks, and I was able to really work on things that I wanted to work on and accomplish the things that I wanted to accomplish.
Sophomore right-hander Andrew Ryan was named to the All-Conference and All-Rookie teams. In his freshman season, he led the Riverhawk pitching staff with a 2.67 earned run average.
I'd say I had a lot of different looks in my freshman year. I had a lot of different outcomes, and I definitely had my ups and downs, which enabled me to grow as a pitcher. I know I'm very hard on myself, and I kind of just expect the best of myself, and sometimes it's a little too much.
The top end of our staff, starting with Andrew Ryan, he got as much experience as he could as a freshman, being the #1 starter on a Saturday. We're going to go as far as he takes us in terms of going out there and competing against everybody else's ace. Kevin Vayu's proven he can win in this league. Nick Kuzia went out and had some really good starts, and we're going to be counting on him as a weekend guy. But Steve Zirinax, I think, is a huge key for us. He's a junior, hasn't gotten a lot of innings the last 2 years out of the bullpen, but we're going to move him into the starting rotation, and we feel that with his stuff, we're going to allow him to work out of some of the jams that he might put himself into, but we feel he's got stuff that's going to be able to get himself out of that and really be a catalyst for us on the weekends. And then we brought in a lot of young guys that we think are going to give us that depth, and we might hit a few bumps in the road, but we feel overall their talent and their ability and their competability is really good, what's going to get us over the top.
Graduation has taken a toll on this Riverhawk team. Much of the starting infield is gone. 3 of the Riverhawks' top 4 hitters have moved on as well. But that has not dampened the coach's enthusiasm for the bats that will be in the lineup.
Because we do have, the Zach Towers of the world who can put the ball over the fence. Steve Passatempo, Chris Sharp, Michael Young, Ian Strom has gotten a lot stronger. Andy Savard is a guy that's a freshman catcher that we think that are going to be able to hit the doubles. Ben Prada is going to get a lot more consistent at bats this year. Oscar Martina. So these guys are going to, our goal is to try to hit 100 doubles. If we can do that, I think you're going to see our run production go up. But we need those young guys, which we think we're going to start a lot of young guys, to really settle in and not realize that they need to realize that they don't need to carry this team. They just need to do their role within our lineup.
This baseball program has changed my life, not just in baseball perspective, in life itself.
Senior outfielder Council Magno is a gritty battler. He makes pitchers work and is relentless in the seemingly endless search for a way to beat an opponent.
I'm thinking just give it 110 every time, no fear, nothing, just go in it. If you go 110 and you give it and you're aggressive, I mean, there's nothing that can really go wrong. If you're passive and you make mistakes, that's one thing, but if you're aggressive and make mistakes, I don't hang my hat on that. You got to be gritty. That's the type of players that we want. We want athletes that are going to give it all, and just like 100% and just fight off every pitch, make it a tough battle for the pitcher. There's nothing worse than a pitcher. I mean, I've pitched before, and I've talked to our pitchers, like a 3-2 count, and the guy fouls off 3 fastballs. You're like, oh my God, now I got to spin one over. I don't know if I can spin it over on him. Like he's just giving me 100%, and then.
We set a good foundation and just building on that, getting better every day, every year, getting some new kids in, developing them. Very good freshman class, and just excited for the season to start and get on the plane and get off to Mississippi.
Ian Strom led the Riverhawks with a .333 batting average. That was after hitting .290 as a freshman. Strom, an outstanding and at times acrobatic defensive center fielder, also led the team in Sports Center appearances.
In my mind, I just always think I'm going to get there, and never not think you're going to get there. So just go balls to the wall, and sometimes I guess maybe a little bit surprised myself that I got there, but doing my best.
Honestly, I'm just in the mindset just to beat the pitcher. However I can, whenever I can, no matter the count, just beat the pitcher.
Oscar Martina is a freshman, part of the future. A middle infielder, probably the starting shortstop for this Riverhawk team. He's got a solid bat, and he's got a flashy glove.
I believe the hard work gets you to where you want to go. And the harder you work, the more luck you have.
Team! 1, 2, 3. Team! Cross that lift tonight. Cross that lift tonight.